Welcome in.
YouTube, listen family, if you guys are ready to make some money this week, let me know down in the comments below. New month, new money, new opportunities, guys. So listen, we're going to finish the end of the year with a bang. We got this last final month to put everything we learned over the course of the first 12 months to the test. I want to see you guys use December 1st and the rest of the trading days we have in December to finish out the year to put the things you've learned to the test. If that sounds like a plan, make sure you like, subscribe, help this video get at least 1,000 likes. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. Now listen, you already know how coach is coming in terms of investing. Okay guys, I want you to be thinking about long-term shares you can buy and hold. Buy for the long term, use to change your life. Okay, check this out. I got Palantir kicking it off and they're sitting at 169. I don't care about that though. Oftentimes you guys don't know when to buy. You want to typically, all right, people that's coming into the market for the first time are trying to chase. You're chasing. Stocks are going up and then that's when you trying to get in. And then they keep going, and then you got a high buy into price, okay? Whereas if you were around from the jump, this used to be $8. Then we got it again at $12. Then we got it at $20. So around here, we're up handsomely in this.
There we go.
But an example of where to buy. Everybody follow this. Look at this. For the past 1 month, this is down 14%. Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. You want to buy in dollar cost average when stocks are down 5%, 10%, 15%, and 20%. These are correction territory. These are almost bear market territory, but these make the best buy zones. AKA when there's blood in the streets, it's time to eat. This is what this really means right here. When it's blood in the streets, meaning when the stocks has bled out and came down, we already know it's going back up. Okay, but your job is to do the work when they are at these levels. Here's one. I got another one for you guys, and that is Meta, ticker symbol META. There are no reason that nobody can think of on Wall Street why this is down here at $600. But at 647.20, this one is down 13.5% in the past 30 days. What does that mean? That means you should rub your hands together like this. If you think, man, coach talked about this before and I didn't get it when it was 700, 800. Now it's back to 600. So 647, 500 would be another area that you would buy, because as I keep telling you, this is a $1,000 stock. So we can't time the market. We can't predict anything. We just know where it's going. Now, it might take the scenic route. Sometime it might be a short squeeze. Sometime it might go parabolic. You just need to know the price target for this is $1,000. The lower I get it, the more money I make when it hits that target. Don't buy it at 800 and I told you it's going to 1,000. That's only a $200 upside. But when I'm telling you if something is going to 1,000 in this example,
okay, all right. So we got a lot of new stuff cooking here. You got, if you talk about something, it'll show up on the screen. So that should open up a whole new can of worms. And if you send me money, then I get your money. And I guess I'm supposed to say your name or something on the stream. Whatever. So that's good too. Let's see. So we're going to talk about this DVN. And then talk similar tickers to DVN. And then talk KSS Q3 recent earnings. Okay. It would be cool if the chat was the same height as me. That would be kind of dope, wouldn't it? I'm pretty short. So, at least when I'm kind of, I'm a little self-conscious that I'm not like 6'2", that would be cool. 6'1" even. Talk KSS Q3 recent earnings. Talk similar tickers to KSS. So let's see if we can figure that out. So we got this thing. Could do a little bit of some cropping here. Properties. Transform crop. Come on, transform. Edit transform? Yeah, crop the top. Crop top. 200. Oh, that's too much. 2000. 400. 400 could be cool, right? That's pretty much it. 405. Pretty perfect. Okay, so there we go. So now we got something going there. All right. Got timestamps. If you say something that takes up a lot of space, that works too. I'm going to try to hang out on YouTube because that's where I want everyone to be. Long term. Actually, all the time. I can't figure out Twitter at all, so I'm just going to give up. Well, I'm not going to give up. But, maybe I'll just post garbage on Twitter. I think that's the plan. I still want to post all the little tweets, though. The little, like, AI tweets. But no one likes AI tweets. Anyway, let's just get going. This is already super late and whatever. So DVN, God, this is pretty small. I can do this. I can make it a little bigger. Hopefully ChatGPT still shows up. Ah, man, I really liked having ChatGPT show up, though. We're gonna have to scratch that. Okay, Devon Energy, $4 billion company. Spent $900 million. I guess the $400 billion they gave back to shareholders is what? Dividends and share buybacks. All right, then I do this, go like this, and then I do this, and go like, what's the other one? KSS. Okay. And then the other company is Kohl's, which gross margin as a percentage of net sales rose to 40%. Okay. Oh, we got our first comment. Unfortunately, it's a spam comment, so I thought this might happen. Oh dear. And it also doesn't show up because it's whatever. It's a multi-line comment. So I don't know how to deal with that. To make it a little smaller. Something like that. I guess I could make the, whoops. I could make the video even bigger. Even wider. It's crazy to make it that wide, but I can do that. Okay. Crop it even more. 605. Let's try that. Or 585. 585. 565. I hate this. I hate this. What is going on? Oh. That's what we want, something like that. Pretty close. Oh boy. Okay. There we go. Couldn't connect that page. Oh my god. Should be able to block this guy, right? You can just put them in timeout. See how that works. Okay. In timeout. I mean, that was literal. He's asking me if I don't even know what that means. Okay. Maybe I should be more charitable. It's all coming full circle. Okay, let's just get started here. This one stock can change early buyers' lives. I'm not a financial advisor, but some financial advisors might say to buy as much as possible before December 3rd. The company is Devon Energy, ticker symbol DVN. They had $4 billion of revenue, and they returned $400 million to shareholders in dividends and buybacks. So you could say maybe the buybacks aren't really returned to shareholders, but returned to the people who bought back the stock. It's a good sign for shareholders that insiders are buying back the stock. And the company looks like it's set up well on the chart. I'll look at that in a moment. And the energy stocks as well are doing well. They're breaking out. They were going sideways as the market was selling off last month. So all looks well for Devon Energy. There's another company, Kohl's, that you guys and I know. KSS is the ticker. Impressively, they had a 40% increase in net margin as a percentage of net sales. So that's pretty high. I don't know what they figured out to make that happen, but retail as a whole had a great Q3. Kohl's recently reported earnings and it's up significantly. So there's a clear level to risk off of. And these two stocks are low price. They're both under $50. So this is not financial advice, but these opportunities look pretty interesting.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
So here's what we got going on for Devon Energy. The revenue is at $4 billion. It's up a little above 5% year over year and beat consensus notably. So here's the company, DVN. This is this little breakout that's pretty interesting. And sure, it's not the easiest to buy up here. This is today. This is Sunday futures as I'm recording this. So the fact that it came down a little bit, it offers a pretty clear opportunity, maybe over 36.5, or if it pulls back the next couple of days, which is what I think is going to be really interesting if the market pulls back. I mean, look at the market. It's just been on a killer run the past week. And so with this gap down, it didn't look like a gap down, but now it's a gap down, clearly. It looks like, what is going on? This is 8 p.m. So for some reason, there's some sort of gap down at 8 p.m. Looks like Trump said something. But anyway, no, Trump said something about the auto pen on Friday. Ignore that. Yeah, this is only within the last couple hours that Sunday futures, or I just call them futures, came down. So this is super in the weeds. We don't have to worry about this. This is all going to resolve by the time you see this, unless you're on the live stream, then we can talk about it. But the point is, this is what I already sort of thought would happen was, look, the stock market went up 5%. So it could definitely come down half of that, or for a few days. So there was typically a lot of buying on Mondays, except after a short week, that might not be the case. So this Devon is probably going to come down a little bit. Just ignore this live stream comment on this screen about seed phrases. I'm trying to put people in timeout when they say things that aren't useful, but this one snuck through. So anyway, if it comes back to this level, there's a pretty clear level around 35.5 that you can buy this over. This live stream is occurring on YouTube, by the way. This is just a recording of it. So that's pretty much the spot. 35.5, you risk 50 cents, you make $5. That could be a pretty interesting opportunity to the upside. It's definitely coiled for a while. And if we look at energy as a whole, it's been choppy as heck, but it has gone up a little bit recently. This is a higher low. So it might take some time to build out, honestly, but there's definitely a lot of price agreement around 35, so this company is pretty interesting. And if we look at what these guys are up to, they're spending a lot of money, but less than they were guided to. And this is this 400 million dividend share buybacks. And they got rid of some debt, so that's awesome as well. We'll see if energy stays strong, but they're definitely making moves, acquiring, I guess these are wells, 60 locations for 150 million. So a big company, 20 billion company, and it's in Delaware. Obviously not actually. All these companies are in Delaware except the ones that are moving to Texas. And it's in Oklahoma. So That makes sense for energy. That's what you want to hear. In general, I could talk about this company more, but on a bigger note, this is sort of what's leading energy. So you had XOM was sort of at a favorable level, higher low, had sold off some, and then it got rejected here, which was kind of expected. I mean, this is a serious move to have in one day. You can see that move right here. This is actually not a real print, so it's actually not that crazy at all. We'll get rid of that, and we'll see what actually happened. It only went up to like here, so sometimes you got to be a little careful with these 24-hour charts. I guess I'm an idiot for using them when everyone else uses daily charts. But look, this daily chart has it on here as well. So now it's using this print. You can't really win. In general, just use something that you're used to and make sure you know what it looks like to you. I know everyone hates looking at other people's charts. I'm sorry. I could use Robinhood charts, but then you guys would be looking at even less information than it's already showing. At least I can show the SPY in the background here, which you can see. Big companies definitely followed. A little Exxon with a big day down on 1010 like the SPY had. And then as the SPY had these choppy days down, Exxon did as well, but it took a while to sort of crumble. And it's turning up. The market turned up. And I don't even know why I started talking about Exxon, but it's a slow company. And so, sure, you could wait for this to come back here and you could buy it again. But at the end of the day, it's only moving 2% a day. So Devon is a little faster, at least, and it is moving up after this recent earnings. So if you know what to buy right now, you're smarter than me. I mean, I'm giving you some ideas, but basically this was a big move, right? 3%. This is even bigger, like 4% plus. And look what happened after this. We came back a little bit. So we're probably going to chop for the next week. I know that's not exciting, but you know what? This is a $35, $37 stock. It's under $50. It's an interesting long-term idea. And if you look at other companies to buy, I could bring up a whole list for you, but they're just not all super buyable. I mean, this print is not real. Some of these are going to pull back. So if we start looking, say, look at Sunrun, okay? Move up, probably going to pull back. NEM, a gold stock, this is probably going to pull back. I mean, gold futures are super strong, and I know they've had a crazy run, but high or low here, you can't really get position in this up here. There's going to be resistance up here, so for that reason, NEM's in the same boat. Biotech companies in general, sure, there's great setups setting up like TVTX and AMS, but you risk getting caught in a serious gap down. And then these Argentina stocks, SUPV just had earnings, so maybe there's a high volume close around 11 that you can risk off of. That's pretty interesting, actually. That's actually a very good idea, I think. But then you're playing in pretty liquid waters. This is $10 million a day that it's trading, which is not a lot, right? If you think it putting 10% of that in at like the very max, that would be $1 million. If you're not trading stocks that people are not going to put $1 million in with, like you're going to get whipsawed around by individual people who just want to mess with you. So that's kind of out. IMAX is kind of interesting, but it's pretty choppy. You can see that more clearly on like a 1 hour chart. And yeah, there's another biotech company that already went. And some of these crypto stocks, I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. I mean, Bitcoin just gapped down on futures. So, of course, Ethereum did as well. And so Galaxy's out, Circle's out, MicroStrategy is cooked. Sort of at the middle of that JP Morgan fiasco. So life sciences companies are maybe interesting, but If you're going to buy something that moves 3% a day, why have any risk at all of some type of, medical device failure or something like that? Why not just buy Devon? So, an energy stock. So that's the pitch for Devon. I don't really care if you buy it, but I do think it's pretty interesting. And if we zoom way out, it's been pretty choppy for sure. It's down a lot from highs on a 5-year chart. But there's definitely, coiled action. There's a higher low here from here. And this is a spot. I mean, I don't know exactly where it's going to be. I'll try to draw a straight line here exactly somewhere in there. There could be quite a change in character at some point. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. No one knows. You can draw lines and do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, the market's going to sort of dictate it. But at least, it's pretty close. The lines I did draw were pretty close to where we're at. So take that with the tiniest grain of salt. So that's Devon anyway. That's an energy stock. And then KSS is coals. So here's the level for coals. We're pretty much right at $24. And I think this is a timely one because we just had earnings. We've obviously got some volume on earning. So you've got a high volume close right here at 24. And you can risk that level. So sometimes what happens with big companies with good earnings, they keep going up. So here's Ford. This is the earnings on Ford. It actually closed up at 13.8. So that's kind of one of the worst examples I could have possibly chose because the stock's down. But if you look at some other car companies, GM's a great one. Held a higher low, and now it's up significantly. Guardian Health I've been talking about. Higher low, then up significantly. So they moved relatively slow, which is fine. It's actually a 5% average daily range is pretty good. GM is 2% though. But the great part is you just put your money in, you're basically risking break even. So making 10% is pretty awesome when you're risking like, I don't know, 0.5% or something when you first get in. So you can take advantage of that. That's a pretty exciting way to enter one of these stocks. If you get excited by high reward, low risk, then you're in the right place because that's what we're all about here. KSS, same situation here. Risk, I don't know, 0.5%, again, 50 cents on a $25 stock. Whatever that is. I guess that would be 2% actually, but it's still not a lot to risk. And retail did pretty awesome. Other retail names are kind of escaping me right now, as are the ETFs. ISBY is not the right ETF necessarily, but you know what? I do know that high volume closers are super easy even if you don't know what's going on with the rest of a sector. You just buy, you risk, and then that thing either goes up or it doesn't. And I do have some similar tickers over here for coals, so I'm not totally going to just leave you in the dark here. So Burlington would be a good one. Ross Stores, TJ Maxx, Dillard's, Macy's. Macy's had a pretty cool earnings reaction in Q2, just about to have earnings. So we kind of just ignore that one. Ross Stores looks pretty much identical. Retail had big moves. They moved up with Kohl's, these two. And then TJ Maxx had solid earnings too. So it's hard to not be excited about these stocks. I know retail's boring, but these ones are not. So those are the ideas. Devon, ticker DVN, and Kohl's, ticker KSS. If you like getting these ideas in your YouTube feed, hit that like button so more people get them, or you get them. If you want a free course on how to buy stocks before they go up, hit that subscribe. I'll post that in the YouTube posts once a month, pretty soon actually. And then if you want one-on-one help, head over to stockscommunity.com. Take advantage of that $19 deal. and see if you can get some testimonials. We've got some pretty awesome ones there on that page. So check them out. I'll see you in the next one.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
All right, we're back. Recording videos.
But we already did it with Netflix. Now they hit every one of Coach numbers, and then they did a stock split. What if Meta do that? Meta might hit 1,000, and then they might do a stock split, and then bring the stock back to $80, $90, and do this all over again. But we're trying to teach and show you guys when you should be buying. So if Meta is one that you should or have wanted to get into, but you just haven't, this is the time to do that, okay? And so put that on your radar, ticker symbol META. The next one is AMD. All right, and this one's sitting at $217.97. But look at this. In the past month, over the last 30 days, this was down 17.9%, nearly 20%. This is really what we want to see. So we know and saw that it ran up. Now it has pulled back in a healthy way. This is what you want to see. 5% is cool, but you know what I'm saying, you can still get rug pulled. 10% is cool, but you can still get rug pulled. 17 to 20%, that's when you like, yep, I like this, because if nothing else, you know you got a 17 to 20% upside move coming.
I don't know if I want to buy AMD right now, but it's not a crazy idea. Let's talk about these energy stocks. VRT. And CEG. They're like power generation. Okay. Put up a little warning. Your comments show up in the live recording. Very ominous. To maybe solicit some comments. Okay, VRT. Oh God. Great. So if it's a double, it doesn't show up. What is going on with this thing? If it's not, if it's a single, this is so obnoxious. All right. This is terrible. We're just going to do something like that. Something like that is what we're going to do. That way if someone comments a lot, that's okay. And if they don't, that's okay. This is like designer hell that I'm creating here. But whatever, the uglier the better. So VRT had a 30% year-over-year increase in net sales. And CEG did something. I don't even know what they did. Nuclear output rose a tiny amount. Revenue slightly beat expectations. So VRT does power products. The CEG produces the energy. Like power control and monitoring. Okay. Let's just jump into a little breakdown here. Whoops. I think I just recorded my screen by mistake. Trump's energy stocks will help you retire early. There's two companies that are both in the power energy space that had revenue above consensus. They beat revenue guidance. And right now, energy's a very solid sector. Sure, pharmaceuticals did really well. Biotech did really well. I'm purposely saying did as opposed to are doing really well, because when something's doing really well, that's not really useful to you or me to say it went up a lot. There is a stock that has it did very well. It's called LITE, Lumentum. We did talk about it. And we've talked about a lot of stocks that have done really well. I'll show you, if you're new to this channel, just to get a taste of what we've been up to. We picked this solar stock. It went up 40% in 50 days or so. We picked Bloom Energy. It went up 200%. It's an energy stock very similar to these companies, Vertiv and Constellation Energy, that I'm talking about in this video. ALAB we talked about. It went up 100% in 50 or so days. Don't worry, I'm almost done. This battery company went up 90% in just a month. And this gold company went up 40% in 50 days. So we picked them. They went up. Most of those were from August into September, or even ALAB was actually, that was in the beginning of July. But now the market is chopping around a bit. So it's going to be hard to find stocks that are doing really well. And energy stocks, it can be a little bit slow moving, but they definitely have great prospects, and they are helped by the current administration. So let's jump into a little bit on both of these companies, Vertiv and Constellation Energy, and talk about why they're so well positioned for a data center, a nuclear, natural gas transition. Not financial advice, but a lot of people have been talking about these favorably.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
So here's what we've got for Vertiv. 30% year-over-year increase in sales, aka revenue, and it beat consensus. So that's awesome. Their adjusted operating profit, whatever the hell that means, how much money they made, we're just going to assume is up 40% year over year as well. And they've got this huge backlog. About a 10 billion backlog is up 30% year over year. So I have to assume that's the same backlog. I don't think they've really cleared out much of their backlog. Major assumptions. It's my adjusted backlog, I guess. But it's good. It basically means a lot of companies want what they have, and that's their equipment for data center buildouts. So they do power, cooling, IT infrastructure. The cooling is pretty important. You might have noticed on Friday, actually, portions of futures were not open because there was a data center down that served that. So that's just for futures traders. I mean, imagine data centers that power ChatGPT or all these big AI applications that we haven't even really thought about beneath the surface. Basically, every company that calls itself a data company, or even more broadly, like an analytics company or a knowledge work company, that's all gonna get more sort of munged with the help of machine learning, aka AI, aka data centers. And so it's not just LLMs, it's a lot of demand from existing data Fortune 500 white collar companies. And VRT is going to help with that cooling, help with that. They do a lot. I'll look at what they do as well in a second. But so it's those knowledge work applications. Then it's also like recommendation systems, which there's not very many companies that have huge recommendation systems, but the ones that do have them are huge and have huge needs. So we're talking Netflix, literally recommending you what to watch, and YouTube, which is Google. And those might seem not that exciting in terms of the universe of companies, but they have huge consumption and daily users, just like ChatGPT as well. So those are LLM, non-LLM applications for data centers. So this company serves all these different industries because all these industries need electrical power. They do not just data centers, but industrial, so like warehouses, big offices, controlling digital infrastructure, integral to the technology. It's like, I have no idea what these guys are talking about. I'm pretty sure they're talking about maybe dashboards for companies that have big power needs. Preventative maintenance is definitely a thing. These are AI type words. Remote monitoring is an AI word. Digital infrastructure software services. It's like, who knows what exactly they do, but I think they do a lot of hardware type. Yeah, I mean, they do parts. So maybe they wanted to be a software company at one point, but I think they do hardware, and that's actually a good thing. Being in software was good for a while, but right now being hardware is pretty good. I mean, look at NVIDIA. So of course there is the problem of tariffs when you do hardware, but it looks like that didn't really mess with the US too much, just the Middle East emerging markets, I think is what that stands for, something like that. And then they're pretty much the name of the game for data center parts. So I'm not totally making that up. I have heard it significantly, and the chart doesn't lie. I mean, it's up 200%. And recently, it sold off with the market, but it had serious strength right now. So hopefully, honestly, it pulls back a little bit and maybe doesn't get all the way to this shelf here, but at least can come to this sort of choppy area around the 175s. So if you can buy somewhere in here, risk 170 or something like that, and then look for $20, $30 to the upside, that would be pretty ideal. Here's another level exactly at 162. But one of those two, like a whole dollar level, 174, I guess would be better. 170 is actually in no man's land. I would just sort of ignore that statement by me entirely, but those are the two levels. So that's VRT, and then CRCEG. These guys kind of look pretty similar. I like how this one has a higher low here, and it's probably going to pull back and see it hit it here, it hit it here. That's 350. So 350, super psychological level, super clear support level, kind of going back to here maybe. So if it can hit that and then rocket up, that would be a pretty big deal. So Constellation Energy Group at 350. Now, a little check-in on what this company does, because it never hurts to actually know what they do. They actually produce the energy, and they sell natural gas. So they have like a bunch of different sources: nuclear, wind, solar, and hydro, as well as natural gas. And then I think they sort of will direct it through their, I don't even know what it's called. I don't think they're an actual like energy trading company, but they might be to some extent. I don't think they would be called a producer if they didn't outright own these entities, but it's in Maryland, so it's possible they are a trading company or started as that and then bought the different energy sources just to save money. Huge revenue, beat expectations, and this is a tiny growth, but yeah, nuclear is there. And they're making good use of their renewable. And so dispatch is what they do. So I don't think this is a trading company now that I hear that. Someone can drop some sort of comment who's an expert, but yeah, I also don't think this is a big deal. Pumped storage is like, I think that's hydro. So anyway, revenue's up, they're guiding well, and this is a big publicly traded power producer. They're making moves to buy more energy sources, and I don't know if there's a lot of other tickers that are super viable right now. This is a $100 billion company. So there's like Dominion and Southern Energy and Florida Power and Light, which is in Next Era Energy. So here's Dominion, but you can't really buy these companies. Like, it's great to come over here and get excited about how like big a company is and how many customers they serve, all that. But if we look at an actual chart, which unfortunately is sort of how investing goes, you have to look at how the thing is actually trading. This thing moves 2% a day. It broke out of a big base. Great. Hopefully it'll check back. Maybe you buy here, risk $1 and make 10, but it could take months. So for that reason, I do think Constellation Energy that moves 5% a day, recently anyway, is just a better one to look at. And it has this peak right here at 357. I know I said 350, but even 357, if it could get down there, which it's pretty close there right now, that could be a pretty solid spot to buy it off of, with pretty low risk. So, you know, honestly, if this went sideways at 360 and you just bought it and you risked a few bucks to 357, 358, that'd be a great risk 3, look for $30 type of move. I know this is not super romantic, but honestly, you look at a chart, you see a peak like this, you know it matters. It retested here. This is how investing works, or trading, whatever you want to call what we're doing, works. It's like trades $100 million, $200 million a day. So there's plenty of liquidity for people like you and me. These other regulated utilities, Duke Energy, I don't know how exciting that's going to be. And then Southern Company, not that exciting. AEP may be a little bit interesting. Let's just take a quick look at these. Duke Energy is just like, looks choppy. It moves 1% a day. You can't touch that. You just can't. Southern Energy moves 1% a day. It's great it went up, but that's the whole market went up. So that was not predictable to Solar Energy, or Southern Company, I mean. AEP is a little more interesting because it moves 2% a day. This is the market we're in. I'm getting excited about stocks that move 2% a day, but it moves sideways, so it built out a base. It did break out, but that was in the after hours on no volume. There's a little bit of a breakout here to 124, but it's 100 million volume, so it actually is a lot, even though it's not a lot of shares. It's $100 share price, so maybe this one could be interesting here, but there's a little more liquidity. Not that this isn't a lot of liquidity, it's just we can just ignore this print. It's in the after hours. I should just get rid of it for the purposes of this video. This one is pretty interesting, honestly. Getting rid of that was a little bit of a de-stressor. It did move up with the market, so it's probably going to pull back again first before it moves. So it's definitely on the table. Constellation energy may be a little bit more on the table just because of how fast it moves. So if this could do something like this tomorrow, that would be pretty dope. And this is, I know it looks like this is kind of like in no man's land, but remember, if you really zoom back, you start to see why things move the way they do. So 358 right there hits that right there. So that's the idea. There have been stocks that have had higher lows and made moves recently, mostly based on the market, but they already went. So CEG and VRT are the ideas. If you like these ideas, hit that like button. You'll see them more. Other people will see them more, and then they might get better. If you want a free course on how to buy stocks before they go up, hit subscribe. It could be pretty useful. And if you want to pay me money, you can do that. You might be wondering why to do that when you get the videos for free. And the answer is you get to ask questions. And I take you seriously because you're paying me money. I also give you the best idea I have of the day on the day at 9:30 a.m. So that's actually when you want to be entering these stocks. It's when the most volume is. So that's when everyone enters them. Head over to stockscommunity.com to give that a test drive. You'll see some recordings if you do join that trial of drop-in videos. So Cyber Monday sale.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
All right, let's see what else Chris Sane has got for us here.
I mean, when this does nothing more just than to return to the price that it fell from. Okay, and if it go lower, again, you should be looking at yourself as an opportunity to buy more at a lower price, because long term, all of these stocks are going way higher than what I'm talking about on today. Does that make sense? Okay, so AMD, all right, and then NVIDIA. Okay, guys, ticker symbol NVDA. This one is down over 16.5% the past 30 days. And in the last month, okay, these are what you want to do. You want to review everything. I always tell you, nothing will stay up forever. So when it's up, you have decisions to make, okay? But
okay, let's close it out here. I still can't believe I've got this comment stuck on here. But whatever. Big Bear. Had some earnings. They must have something going for them. Ooh. Ask Sage. Okay. That's what we're going with. Smaller than expected loss. It's not a lot, but it's something to talk about. And then Talon Energy. They raised $1 billion to acquire natural gas plants. Okay. That's crazy. All right. Here we go. BBAI is $5. So good price, very good price. Over and out. There is one stock that is about to skyrocket. The company is being called the next Palantir. The ticker is BBAI, BigBear.ai. They are an enterprise government AI solution. They recently acquired a generative AI company called Ask Sage. So most of these acquisitions don't go anywhere, but it at least means that they have some LLM talent working for them for some period of time. And their earnings per share loss was less than expected. So for a small company, that's great news. We'll see what's going to happen with them and with SoundHound, another consumer AI company that's publicly traded. BBAI is the government, the enterprise AI play. SoundHound is the consumer. They do like White Castle voice ordering, for example. So they're different companies. SoundHound would definitely not be talked about in the same sentence as Palantir. It's not just BBAI, the $5 stock. There's also Talon Energy that's really interesting. Energy is holding up well as a sector right now. The energy demand for data centers is huge. And this company took out $1 billion in debt to get some natural gas reserves. So definitely seems like natural gas is going to be the crossover fuel source until we get to nuclear, along with wind and solar. So this company's at the right place in the right time. Otherwise, that debt would be a little worrisome. So let's jump into these charts and what these companies are up to and see why they look so good based on the actual prices. I didn't just come up with them because, AI is interesting and power is interesting. It's pretty obvious. It's because of the charts. So let's take a look.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
Okay, so here's BBAI surfing this 200-day moving average. It had a higher low on the bouncing off the 200-day, and it bounced off this left side peak as well twice. So tested it here, and it's definitely holding, which is great. And you're risking maybe $1. Maybe you risk into this sort of supply-demand mess over here. Actually it's only like 50 cents. You don't have to risk a whole dollar. But the whole point is, this spot is definitely interesting. 580. Definitely some price disagreement and then agreement there. So, the closer you risk, then the less reward you need, right? So if you risk 40 cents, $4 would be great. And is $4 possible? Sure is. It went to $9 just a month ago, and it went to almost 11 about 10 months ago. So that's BBI. That's why the chart's interesting. And then if we look at the other one, don't worry, we'll jump back into what are these companies up to. Talon Energy also has a bit of a higher low here after earnings, which didn't have a great earnings reaction, but it's holding this level over here from August, and here's a level that it's at right now. So 395 is going to be pretty important. We'll zone in right now just for people that really care about the levels. 385 kind of almost hit here, did hit here. It tested and undercut, but it held there. So yeah, if the market pulls back to 385, that would be great. You buy with almost no risk, or risk like a few dollars to make $30, that would be the move. So there's a lot of other companies that are in energy and natural gas that don't look interesting or move slowly. This one moves 5% a day. So it is interesting. There are some other companies that are just grinding up that you can't really do anything with. I think this is kind of somewhat interesting, but kind of choppy and messy. And Dyno's another one that just went sideways as the market went up, so it displayed relative weakness. So that's not exciting as a stock buyer. TLN did go up, but it didn't go up like a crazy amount. And it has that level sort of partway through. So that's sort of the picture of how we ended up with these names. And then I'll sort of backtrack and tell you about what they do, because I do know what they do. Well, I already knew about BBAI. I had to look up TLN. But it's good to make sure that what they do makes sense with the broader market. Like if one of these was like a toy company, you know, it's like, okay, great, the chart looks great, but are you really going to trust that there's going to be continued buying activity over the next month? I don't know. I mean, maybe I should eat my words. Hasbro had a pretty good run the last month. So, yeah. But I'm not going to get distracted by toys. BBAI did have some falling revenue. They're unprofitable. They are having these challenges with the government. And people are not super excited about this move. So they were the Palantir company. Now it looks like with this partnership, maybe they're trying to hedge their bets on that. But it's not easy to just acquire an LLM company and do something. With that platform. There's a lot of LLM companies right now. Of course, everyone's worried that ChatGPT is just going to gobble them up. But there have been some notable success stories that VCs are kumbayaing around. Harvey.ai is one. And then another one is called Open Decision. I don't know if they got the domain name or not. No, I guess not. They could. For $4,000, they could get opendecision.com. Somebody explain that to me, why they don't have that. Oh, they don't because it's called Open Evidence. Anyway, this is another big LLM company. New England Journal of Medicine, so they knew the right people. This is the lawyer one. But other than that, I mean, I'm not super enthused about Ask Sage. I don't think anyone is jumping for joy about Ask Sage. It's the right sector, GPT for government. So, you know, this is what they got going on. I don't recognize any of these. Well, actually, Google AI. I should shut up. So, they've definitely got something going on. They've got the agencies using it. I don't know yet if they're actually going to get the contracts, because I know they were talking about XAI getting a bunch of the LLM generative AI contracts with the government. So they have some pretty big players to unseat. But anyway, BBAI is still the speculation play to play off of AI, no matter what the fundamentals are. And the chart looks good. SoundHound may be less interesting. It sold off significantly. It's kind of in the same bucket, in my opinion, as RGTI and USAR. So I think you can kind of just ignore that. Otherwise, energy does look interesting. And Talon is the stock that looks interesting. And natural gas is definitely a great place to invest in. 2 gigawatt natural gas plants they're going to acquire. So that's a lot of capacity. And they're in Texas, so that's the right place to be located for this whole build out. And they have this partnership with EOS, which is the leading battery storage company. So EOS has 90 gigawatt hours of backlog, which I looked into that yesterday. It basically means they can supply, if Talon has 3 gigawatts, they can supply 30 times that of energy production, right? Talon is natural gas plants. So 30 times that, they can store all that energy for an hour. So if it's just the 3, they could store it for 30 hours, so over a day. And it's not like just once. I mean, obviously, they'll then sell that energy or deploy it back into the grid, drain the batteries, and then they'll recharge it again another day when it's needed. So that's EOS, and having that partnership makes a ton of sense. This is a lot of stock sold, but that was back in mid 2025, so that was a time when the market was ripping. So stock price didn't really seem to care about that. This company is definitely in the right, exciting sector. We can just pretty much ignore what analysts say. And yeah, we have to make sure those planned acquisitions actually go through and that debt doesn't ruin them. But it's pretty interesting. It's not just a pure energies company. It's, has that battery storage partnership. I don't know if it's actually any similar companies that have such a partnership. So they are unique, and they have all these different plants as a power producer. But look, I mean, all these sources are pulling up that they have battery storage projects. So 10 gigawatts is a lot too. Sorry, I'll stop opening and closing this when I highlight it. The company that strikes most similar is NextEra. They have the world's largest, along with its associates, wind and solar production. So this is also interesting, and we can get rid of these candles because they're kind of crazy. They don't represent the stock price totally. It's just little earnings boost and then sell. So don't worry about those. I've done this before, but just don't want to. I mean, they are there, but also, this is actually what's shaping up. So this one is interesting. I'm not talking about it because I've been talking about it a lot. So I figured I'd give that one a break. And it also doesn't move slow, so it could take a couple weeks. This Talon, though, is a little more fast moving. And if it pulls back, like I said, it could have a little boost up to 420 or so, 10% boost. And it is liquid enough. It's not super liquid, but it's a $300+ stock. So, I'm talking about how liquid it is. Meanwhile, it has hundreds of millions of dollars traded. Meanwhile, this NextEra Energy, pretty similar actually, liquidity over here. This one might be a little more, but they're both fine. This one just looks a little choppy. It's not as smooth, but the chop comes with big moves. So if you're able to take a look at your portfolio and be a little more nimble, this one's more interesting. If you just want to sort of set it and forget it, I mean, you do have to watch out for, there are some moves down of a couple percent or more, but in general, this might be smoother, sort of like a INDV. Don't look at this ticker in particular. I'm not saying to invest in this pharmaceuticals because they're up a lot, but You don't want to buy stuff that's up a lot. You want to buy stuff that looks like it could go up a lot. So for that reason, energy is interesting and TON interesting within that, along with BBAI. So those are the ideas. If you like those ideas, hit that like button. If you do join the live, your comment will get shown. I try to answer it, assuming it's not, inappropriate or something. So like the video if you can. Hit that subscribe if you want a free course on how to buy stocks before they go up. And if you want one-on-one help or you want to check out our community, we've got some awesome testimonials. Head over to stockscommunity.com. I'll see you in the next one.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.